Otto. Just made a video but my phone cut out because its battery was not actually being charged. Even though I am actually making these videos in my bedroom, and these are tied to the grid. That is a recharging wire attached to an external power lead that is attached to a wall socket. So my phone is basically making up excuses. It is not charged. Just as I already told in the past video, the video that was not successfully loaded. For this video, for the Starship introduction, I will show off 3 Starship introductions as opposed to 1, and that is because I missed a Starship introduction for the past video because I was too busy talking about all these 2 mindless trolls that have tried deleting the things on my Discord server, or one of my Discord servers, meaning I was too busy talking about both of them as opposed to showing off a starship. And I have the starships for this video, yes, 2 starships for this video, and so I do not have to make a starship introduction for the next video. I have the next ships, meaning this will be 3 starships for an introduction, actually 5 for this tiny starship introduction. Here is the JJ Prize, the nickname that is given to the USS Enterprise from the J.J. Abrams reboot films prior to Star Trek Discovery, that has basically refitted or rebooted Star Trek again, but is pretending to be in the prime timeline. The JJ Prize is 300 or 700 meters long. Try to work out how that actually works. Meaning it is anywhere from the Enterprise refit all the way to the USS Enterprise E, that is more than 100 years more in the future, and the JJ Prize is much taller, as well as tall as the USS Enterprise D, assuming this may be 700 meters long, and it is far more advanced in general. It's more like an Apple Macintosh computer storage thing. You have brigs that are a screen, a wall that have a little circle, a metal device in the force field you can move about, so you can give a person an injection for some reason. You have these things that are very much more advanced. There is the fan theory. The advancement comes from the Borg technology that is implemented in the Nevada from the novel. The Star Trek novel Countdown shows Captain Nero's Romulan ship is actually a mining ship called the Narada, but upgraded by Borg technology that was being experimented on by the Romulans for the purposes of revenge. But the Narada is a little bit Borg technology, a little bit Borg tech, so assuming that after the first fight of the Narada versus the Federation coming into the past and altering the timeline, people from the Federation took a bit of the Narada, then put a bit of this tech onto the ships. This means the JJ Prize is a little bit of a Borg cube. Even though the tech is actually more the opposite of the Borg, as the Borg prefer everything be heavily exposed, wires, all sorts of things, almost as if it is like a dystopian future of a starship wreckage. However, all in their orders, their sections. Meanwhile, all of the materials are all black or red, or maybe green or something. Here you have pitch white, and is trying to be Apple Macintosh for no reason, because back in the time this was thought of as being the most cool, even though that is just very overrated. So this may be a bit more advanced in actuality because of the things like the circular bit of metal that is in a force field wall that is for a brig. That could be more advanced, come on. For this video, there is both Excelsior and the USS Enterprise B. Both are, of course, an Excelsior class Federation starship of the Federation. So both are 400 metres long, 400. A little bit closer to the 500 metres of the Ambassador class, USS Enterprise C Ambassador class. Much closer to having something like a sort of replicator tech. That is why these are a bit more than the JJ Prize. For the next video, brought into this video for the purposes and simplicity and have it all be timed, I have two ships, oddly enough, that are not from the Federation. This one is Klingon, and this one is Romulan. The reason these are above USS Enterprise B is because these most likely actually do have a type of replicator tech on board. The replicators are very useful, and that form of hardware is far more advanced than these types of softwares, meaning just a matter of comparison. And the Klingon seems to be an advanced option, but the replicators mean it is more of an option being compared. The Romulan bird of prey is either a Gufort class or a Burrell class. There are all sorts of bird of preys. They go from anywhere like seemingly as large as a runabout, maybe 50 metres, maybe 100 metres, all the way to seemingly the USS Enterprise D, or 600 metres, maybe over 600 or 700. They are usually much closer to like the dish of the Constitution class, meaning 200 metres long, 200, 300. These have a cloaking device. Assuming you go by the 24th century, these 100% of the time actually must have a type of replicator that is just on board. This also goes for the Romulan ship, and this one is actually a shuttle, but most likely equipped as having weapons. And this most likely has weapons, maybe something like Warp 9, so hundreds of thousands of times the speed of light, more like many tens of times the speed of light or light speed. So thanks to the replicators, these are more advanced. In the hardware, these are far more advanced. The subject of this video, as after these are just introduced, there is a riot currently taking place in America for some reason, apparently it is an American police officer has just shot an unarmed black man, resulting in people calling all police officers either racists, bigots, homophobes, misogynists, or sexists, or anything else modern liberals are scared of. Hold on. Have we not already gone through all of this? My mind is at ponder. This entire situation, you have the riots, a person is just shot by a police officer, people think it is just because of being black. They might have been might have gasped how they are losing their breath, and the mayor of the town in America just says how if they can gasp for air, surely they can breathe, or something equally fucking stupid. These riots are actually... hold on. Yes, this has actually occurred. Back in 2014 or something, the start of the Black Lives Matter movement. Because almost a decade ago, the very uneducated or African American people of America have come together collectively after the shooting of an unarmed black man trying to get into their house. The police officer is fired. The police are all being attacked by liberals, thinking they are being smart or pretending they cared in the first place. And there is a lot of this infighting or outfighting. And there was even the Black Lives Matter movement, a movement at which many of these spear chuckers Yes, I am actually referring to these black people as uneducated or spear chuckers, but considering my Discord server is constantly being raided by people who are not open-minded, I have all of the rights in the universe, because I have my rights earned. For this time, there are all of these riots, all taking place through America because of this controversy. And I just have to say this. The situation is the reason you should not give a gun to a spear chucker monkey. You may think of that as a bit, and you may think of that as harsh, but, you know, truth is, these people are not supposed to be very educated. They are given all of the opportunities on Earth by their fellow humans. The opportunity to get an education and not be fat, lazy, disgusting memers or giant-dicked, pretentious nobodies. Hell, there was even... here's a bit of a tidbit. Back in the original controversy back in 2014, thanks to the Black Lives Matter movement, all of those mongoloids at Family Guy made a response episode in which Peter is, as always, trying to do something perfectly normal, gets a bit caught in trouble, is called stupid even though it was not actually stupid, and gets forgiven, provided of course they admit it was pretty stupid even though it's not actually stupid. In this episode, Peter shoots a kid for climbing into a house for no reason, till there are all sorts of excuses that are currently given. Peter has just shot Cleveland Brown Jr., sneaking into Cleveland's house. In this context, Peter is trying to defend the livelihood, the lives, the property of a black person from a person whose race is not in the open. And because it is a black kid that has just been shot, everybody thinks Peter has just shot Cleveland Brown Jr. because of something fake like racism. So, Peter has to avoid all of the town, or is constantly being attacked by every person who thinks a crime is only because of race, sex, ethnicity, or anything else that can be defended by liberals, because liberals think everything is race-related for some reason. Peter tries just explaining how it was pitch black, and there was basically no information, and Peter was actually in the right as to defend their friend. Oh, Peter, as an American, is actually too much of a coward as to try explaining the fucking situation. How it was pitch black, so there was basically no information, even if the kid was black or white, and the fact Peter was trying to defend the livelihood, the lives, the property of a black person that is their friend, and not for being a black person, but just a friend. So Peter is being bullied by the left and maybe the right all over the place, and because Peter is an American, Peter is too much of a coward to try explaining anything, and it finally ends as Cleveland takes the bullet, and the media is like, oh, black on black crime, that's not real, or that's not controversial enough to get our ratings through the roof. So everybody leaves, but Cleveland blames Peter for causing the situation and pretends or thinks it was actually Peter's fault for firing in a perfectly fireable situation, and pretended the situation that caused the controversy is actually not something in which you should fire your gun. Obviously, Peter was justified. Peter was firing into the body, in a non-lethal bit of the body, a person who could have tried hurting Cleveland, Peter's friend, and is another citizen they should be thinking of. This episode of the cartoon Family Guy is proof you should never trust liberals. The liberals are fucking stupid. However, liberals are not as bad as conservatives. The Democrats are trying to be the most bad, or the most fucking stupid. Please remember to comment down below in the comment section. Video has ended. Please comment in the comment section.